Hey guys, wait a minute. Alright, hey, we're doing another tier list, this time on FNAF World characters now. In case you didn't know, I've been sort of playing this game over on stream recently. Don't know if you noticed. But anyway, yeah. Today we're gonna be... Oh, hello teenage years. And today we're gonna be ranking each of these characters by how good they are in battle, how viable they are, etc, etc. And we got some tiers here for the characters going. And basically, all we're going to be looking at is how useful they are and how much you would want to use them in like hard battles like the Chipper fight or the Rainbow fight. Or just through the regular playthrough. So, let's get on to it. Crying Child is an Olympian god because literally for just one sole reason, gift boxes. There are some characters in this game who are extremely similar to another character, just with one move different. And this is Crying Child is one of those characters. He's basically a clone of another character who is very much worse, but because he has gift boxes instead of one other move, he's up there. And we'll get to that other character soon enough. Also, I should mention, I've spent the last couple of minutes, going through each character and move, so I never forget what their moves are, so I could look back at them and try and decide if they are good or not. Anyway, Toy Chica. Toy Chica has Cupcake, Birthday, and Water Hose. Cupcake is good for early game because it can heal your teammates a good decent amount, but later on the enemies start one shotting you, and Cupcake becomes less and less useful. Birthday is basically an all stats up thing for a short period of time, which is useful definitely. And then there's Water Hose, so for early game, she's not bad. She's overall a solid character, but she's not someone you would want to be putting on your team for like the entire playthrough unless you're doing like a challenge or you just really like Toy Chica. Mangle. Mangle has Hook, Poppers, and Prize Ball. Now, Hook is basically like a chip attack. It does good, decent damage to early level enemies, but for like bosses, especially later on bosses like Brow Boy or something, it's basically gonna be doing nothing. Poppers, it's highly RNG based. There's only two characters in the entire game to have move Poppers. It does good damage when it does pop, but that's the thing. Sometimes it just doesn't pop. There's just too much waiting around for it sometimes, and you're never fully certain when they're gonna pop. So there's that. And then Prize Ball, it just does a random move. It's it's a fun move to use. That's definitely for sure. But it's not really something very useful in hard battles. JJ is not the worst. JJ has Balloons, Poppers, and Unscrew. Again, she's the other character to have Poppers, so they go hand in hand together very well. Balloons is another one of those RNG moves where like Balloon Boy and JJ, they throw out 3 balloons at a time. Blue, green, yellow, and red. Each of them having their own like damage output. Red being the strongest, green being the weakest, so they're always doing one. So on and so forth. Blue being the second weakest, and yellow being the second strongest. And then Unscrew is just, it has a 30% chance to instantly kill an enemy, or a 1% chance to kill any boss. I think that's how it is. It's either 1% or 0.01%. I don't know. But, yeah, she's definitely better than Mangle, but Phantom Freddy is just. I've said this in stream many a time, but Phantom Freddy is one of the absolute worst characters. He's probably like the worst character in the game. All of his moves are complete shit. He has Gloom Song, Sludge, and Rainy Day, all moves that do nothing but lower certain stats of the enemies. He can't attack at all, he can only affect their stats. And it wouldn't be so bad if, like, Phantom Freddy was the only character to use those moves, and if there wasn't any chips that do that. But because there's other characters that can both use his attacks and also do actual attacks, as well as a chip curse status that's literally an instant version of all of his attacks at once at the start of the match, it basically completely invalidates him from the get-go. He's just a horrible, horrible character. Do not use him. It will not be worth it. It will just be a waste of a slot. Phantom Chica. She has Toxic Bite, Sludge, and Unscrew. Toxic Bites. I'd say she's good in a pinch because Toxic Bite, that does gradual damage over time. Unscrew, again, what I said about JJ with it being having a certain chance to instantly KO enemy players. But then there's Sludge, which again is one of his moves that makes them go slow. And literally, I'm just saying off the bat that the stat downgrades for the enemies, they barely do anything. You can hardly even notice it. It's not entirely worth it to use Sludge over Toxic Bite, but that's just my opinion. Phantom Foxy. Yes, Jump Scare, Toxic Bite, and Unscrew. Ooh. Wow. So Jump Scare basically stops enemies from attacking for a certain period of time. It could be a very long time, or it could be less than a second. It is still extremely useful for a majority of the game, because the only time it's not really useful is during boss fights, where it always lasts a very short amount of time. But even in like late game, like in the Circus Tent, the Jump Scare is still a very helpful move to use. And then again with Toxic Bite and Unscrew. He's just a very solid character to use. Phantom Mangle. Toxic Bite, Mystery Box, and Pizza Wheel 2. Ooh. Toxic Bite, Pizza Wheel 2. Those are two good moves. With that Mystery Box, I'm going to put Phantom Mangle in good in a pinch because, again, Toxic Bite and Pizza Wheel 2, those are very good moves. Pizza Wheel is basically just a move where giant pizzas go from the right side of the screen to the left and does a great deal of damage to the enemies. And then Mystery Box, all it does is that it just switches around your characters, giving you two random teams. It doesn't matter if you unlock some characters or not. It doesn't matter if you have one character on one team, because it truly is random. You could have Freddy on one team and another of the exact same Freddy on your other team. So it's also possible to have two of the same team at once. But yeah, it's a fun move to use on like random battles or something. But if you accidentally hit that move in like a really hard boss fight and you get stuck with a really shitty team, like you get a team of 4 Phantom Freddy or something, it's not possible. But the possibility of having just 2 teams of complete shit by accident makes her slightly less viable. Withered Freddy. Withered Freddy. He has Mic Toss, Gloom Song, and Escape Key. Ooh. Mic Toss, Gloom Song, and Escape Key. Yeah. Mic Toss is basically another one of those chip damage moves, like like hook and escape key is basically the same as unscrew, only instead of it having a chance to kill one enemy, it has a chance to kill every enemy at once, which may make it seem better, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't say the percentage of how often it will work. I don't think so, at least, but I think it does have a slightly less chance to do that. But in either case, excuse me. In either case, I don't like those RNG moves because they aren't guaranteed to hit. I would rather use a move that has a 100% chance to hit an enemy over one that has a slight chance. You know? And what was the other one? Gloom Song. Again, it just lowers the enemy's attack power. Shadow Freddy is another one of those characters I think is complete booty cheeks. What moves did you get? Unscrew, escape key, and water hose. Again, with the unscrew and escape key, those are chance moves. They only have a certain amount. They can only hit some of the time. Not all the time, but some of the time. Then water hose. It would be useful if the enemies had health bars, because it instantly kills enemies if their HP is below 30%. But since you don't know when that happens, it's basically a guess every time you use it. Basically, Shadow Freddy is a character that is only some of the times that he's useful. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think Shadow Phantom Freddy is better than Shadow Freddy because at the very, very least, his attacks always hit. And that's more than you could say about Shadow Freddy. Marionette. Prize Ball 2, Mystery Box, and Escape Key. You know, this tier, good for dicking around, but not viable. I made this tier it's just because of this one character. Because those moves, he's a character that you just put on to have on your team if you're bored. Because he's literally the opposite of viable. Prize Ball 2, Mystery Box, and Escape Key. He's just a character you use when you're bored and want to have a little bit of fun. Phantom Marionette. Jump Scare, Hot Cheese 2, and Mystery Box 2. He is more viable than Marionette because he has actual really good moves like Jump Scare and Hot Cheese 2. Jump Scare, again, is a move that stops enemies from attacking, and Hot Cheese 2 is basically Hot Cheese 1, which makes it so, like, molten cheese falls from the sky and hits whatever enemies is sitting on it, and it does good damage. Hot Cheese 2 is basically that, but if it had car battery from Binding of Isaac. Golden Freddy. Jump Scare, Rainy Day 2, and Haunting. Yeah. Once again, Jump Scare, really good move. Haunting is a move that I've always been sort of sketchy about, because it's basically Jump Scare again, but it goes after one enemy, and how it works is a ghost Freddy appears from the top of the screen, flies down, and then has every move in this game, by the way, has a hitbox. So there's a chance that the ghost Freddy just goes past an enemy, but when it does hit, it petrifies them and makes them unable to move for sometimes much, much longer than Jump Scare ever could. Which sounds good, but again, it only has a possibility to not hit. It's a slow attack, and it only does one enemy at a time. And then there's, what else was there? Rainy Day 2. It's probably like the best of the curse attacks that Phantom Freddy uses, because it basically both lowers the defense of enemies that are easier to kill, but also attacks them as well with lightning. So it's definitely the best in that department. Paper Pals. Prize Ball 2, Mystery Box 2 with Mimic Ball. Another character that's good for dicking around, but it's not viable. The Prize Ball 2 and the Mystery Box 2, those are just moves that you use, again, when you're bored. Mystery Box 2 is basically Mystery Box 1, but it gives you a higher chance for better characters like the Nightmare animatronics, for instance. You can get the Nightmare animatronics with Mystery Box 1, keep in mind. However, it's more likely that you'll get them, more of them at least, with Mystery Box 2. And speaking of the Nightmares, we got Nightmare Freddy, who has Bite 2, Sludge, and Freddles. So I'd say he's... because Bite 2 is a really good move. It's an upgraded version. Well, first I want to say that all of the Nightmares here have Bite 2. But it's basically like the move Bite, which is another one of those chip attacks. But it does far more damage. Sludge makes them move slower, and Freddles, it's basically Pizza Wheel, but infinitely better. Because it's, instead of it being like 3 different pizzas that do chip damage, it's a million Freddles that go at breakneck speed and do chip damage. Nightmare Bonnie. Bite 2, Rainy Day 2, and Pizza Wheel 2. He is definitely extremely solid. I'm probably going to put him above Phantom Foxy. Because Bad Pizza, it's basically what happens is a giant toxic pizza spins around slowly from the air, goes on the enemies, and then explodes and gives them all the gradual poison damage. And Pizza Wheel 2, once again, very good move. Nightmare Chica has Bite 2, Bad Pizza, and Water Hose. It's basically the same. I might have gotten the last one wrong. Nightmare Bonnie does not have Bad Pizza. My mistake. It's just that all the words are so close together with each other that I got a little bit confused there. No, Chica is the one with Bad Pizza. Nightmare Bonnie does not. And again, it is still a good move, but Water Hose kind of muddies her viability. Nightmare Foxy has Bite 2, Unscrew 2, and Hot Cheese 2. So another really good character to have on your team. Good Bite 2, Hot Cheese 2, what else do you have? Unscrew 2, which is Unscrew 1, but instead of having a 30% chance to hit enemies, it has a 50-50% chance. So it's far more likely that you'll actually kill someone with it, which is good. Endo 1 is, again, a horrible, horrible, horrible character. His move, again, remember when I said that this character is a clone of another character? He's a clone of this guy. But instead of this one having gift boxes, he has Endo Army. It's a good move, because it's just 3 different turrets all at once. But here's the thing. Another character has it who is better than him. So it just... yeah, never to be touched. His other moves is Power Song and Armor Song. It's basically 1/3 of Birthday for each move. There's Power Song, Armor Song, and Speed Song. And why would you ever want to use a character that has one of those, or God forbid, two of them, like this guy, over someone who just has birthday? Like, I don't know, one of the first 8 characters you have at the jump, perhaps. Anyway, yeah. Endo 1, horrible, horrible character. Endo 2, however, what did you get? What do you have? Speed Song, Endo Army, and Neon Wall. Now, again, he has Endo Army, which is a really, really strong attack, and a really good attack to have. And then he also has Neon Wall, which is extremely good. Because not only is it a permanent defense up, but it also protects you from the Security Owl's alarm move, which normally is a one-hit move. Is what I would say if there wasn't an easily accessible chest that gives you an actual permanent neon wall, and you can get it as soon as before the second boss. So it's not the worst, but it's also not really good in the pinch. Plush Trap, Toxic Bite, Bad Pizza, and Sludge. So he's a very poison heavy character. Because of that, he's going to be good in the pinch. Anyone that just has poison attacks are just going to be good characters, because their attacks linger even after they stop, which is really good to use. But then there's Sludge, which is, it's alright. Endo Plush, Neon Wall, I-Beam, and Water Hose 2. Ooh. I-Beam is one of those weird attacks that most of the time does very minimal damage, but sometimes can do great damage. But when you have characters with I-Beam equipped, you will most likely want to have them in slot 3 in the front of the team. Because if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit at all. So there's that. Once again, Neon Wall, right? Yeah, Neon Wall. The Water Hose 2 is basically just a stronger. Yes. Instead of it being they instantly kill enemies below 30% health, it's just characters below 50% health. So he is not the worst. You know what? I'm actually gonna put him up here. Who would have thunk? Springtrap is extremely solid because he has Spring Locks, which is a monster of an attack. He has Rainy Day, and he has Bite 2. RWQ FSF ASXE is one of the best characters because, say it with me now, gift boxes. If a character has gift boxes, they are just automatically entitled to the title of Olympian God. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Because gift boxes are extra lives in battle. When a character dies, throw out a gift box, and they're back in the battle, baby. And the thing that makes it even better is that there's just so few of them, so it makes it more important and more special to have them. Because they are not permanent thing. Once they're gone until you use it again. There's only 4 characters in the entire game to use it, and one of them you can't even unlock in the traditional way. Funtime Foxy is again another gift box character, and she is the best gift box character because she also has Cosmic Song, which is another monster of an attack. Fredbear. He has Megabyte, Regen Song, and Mimic Ball. Megabyte is the strongest of the bite attacks. The other ones being Toxic Bite, Bite, Bite 2. What else was there? I think that's all the bites. But Megabyte is the strongest of them all. Regen Song is fine. I don't know why Scott would give goddamn Regen Song one of the last characters on the roster. And then Mimic Ball is it throws out a ball that performs the last attack used. It's good on paper, but it's also makes so you move slower. Spring Bonnie. God, I can't remember her name. Sorry. Spring Bonnie is another one of those clone characters. They are a clone of Funtime Foxy, but instead of having gift boxes, they have Spring Locks, which we established with Springtrap to be a very, very good move. It does crazy damage. So because of that, even without gift boxes, they deserve to be an Olympian god. Because, oh my god, they're crazy. Nightmare Bonnie. Nope, that's not right. Wyvern Bonnie, right. I-Beam, Pizza Wheel, and Unscrew 2. He's fine in this game for early game. Because, again, I-Beam, it can do really strong damage sometimes. And then Unscrew 2 has a 50-50% chance to kill an enemy. I really wish that I liked Wyvern Bonnie in this game much more because he is my favorite FNAF character of all time. It just hurts me so much that he is just not good in this game. It's like finding out your favorite Smash character, your main character in Smash Bros. Is a bottom tier. Freddy Fazbear. Character number 1, the first character you play as, he has Mike Toss, Pizza Wheel, and Birthday. He is good for early game, but as soon as you unlock a new character, well, there's worse characters out of the 8. So you'll have him for longer, but not much longer. Jacko Bonnie, Olympian God. Let me tell you why. Jacko Bombs. If you've been watching my streams, you'll know. You'll know. Jacko Chica. Nope. Probably the best character in the game. And let me tell you why. Jacko Bombs, Buzzsaw. If you've been watching my streams, you'll know. Knight Marione. Extremely solid. I would put him in Olympian God because Fourth Wall is busted. Dear God. It's busted. It has saved my ass more times than I can count. But here's the thing. He also has moves like Prize Ball 2, which is one of those non-viable moves, and Bubble Breath, aka a move that is entirely useless for when you are not in one very specific spot in the entire game. And even then, it's not permanent. Only 2 characters in the entire game have Bubble Breath, and thank God for that, because it is one of the worst and stupidest moves in the entire game. I do not understand the decision for it. Nightmare Balloon Boy is the other character who has Bubble Breath. He also has Megabyte and Balloons 2. Two very good moves. Balloons 2 is basically Balloon 1, which we already established was decent. But instead of it being 3 balloons, it's, I think, 10 or 15. So it's just an assault rifle. That's what it is. It's an assault rifle. And them dude. Not Scott Coffin. And them dude. Says so on his character page. He has Neon Wall, Megavirus, and Fourth Wall. Megavirus is basically the best of the poison damage moves because it, instead of doing chip damage, it does crazy damage. And again, Fourth Wall. Neon Wall, not so useful for him. Balloon Boy. What did you have? Balloons, Hot Cheese, and Munchies. He's Hot Cheese and Munchies. Those are two very good moves for early game because they do lingering damage. Bonnie. Bonnie. Bite, Bash Jam, and Happy Jam. Bite, chip damage, Bash Jam. It gets less useful as the enemies get harder. Chica. Chica is basically another type of version of whatever type of characters these are, but instead of it being all curses or all RNG, it's all heals. Chica has Cupcake, Party Favors, and Regen Song. All moves that heal you in some way. Cupcakes being the best way to heal. Regen Song giving you gradual heals over time, like a Med Bucks bite. And then Party Favors is just it's one of, if not the worst attack in the game. Because it's a heal move that also damages enemies, but because of the offset, it does very little in both categories. It heals you as good as a bandage on a gash, a giant open wound. And then its attack is basically bringing a water gun to, like, war. Actual bloody mayhem war. Chipper. Chip, 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 chew. What do you do? Mimic Ball, Buzzsaw, and Hocus Pocus. Ooh. Mimic Ball is... It would be useful if he was the only character to use it, but other characters use it too. Buzzsaw, again, it's a good move, but you already get that from Jacko Chica. And Hocus Pocus is basically the opposite of Mystery Box, where instead of it's randomizing your team, it randomizes the enemy team. That does include, it could make it easier or it could make it much, much worse for you. But I could forgive all of that if, to unlock him, you didn't have to, play Chica's Rainbow. I'm pretty sure the unlock condition for him too is like you have to beat it in under 2 minutes or something. No thank you. We don't want none. Nuh-uh. Coffee. He is the fourth of the gift box characters, but he's also one of the hardest to unlock, because you have to beat Freddy in space without picking up a single cupcake upgrade. And Jesus Christ, good luck with that. I'm not doing it. You already get Jacko Bonnie from playing it regularly. That's enough for me. That is enough for me. But again, he has gift boxes, and that gives him automatic entitlement to this tier. So, yeah. he is probably like the best and most useful of the starting 8 characters, simply because he has jump scare off the bat. One of the best moves. Because so you'll probably keep him on your team for much longer, since he'll probably be much more leveled up than other characters. That's just my logic, though. Purple Guy, holy shit, he is stupid. He is truly one of the worst characters. He has Speed Song, Slasher, and Hocus Pocus. We've already established that this different Power Song, the Armor Song, Speed Song, those moves are complete booty cheeks. Slasher, that is the most horrible move ever. It has a 1 in 100 chance to do like 99,999 damage, something like that. But oh my god, the chances are so minuscule, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. And Hocus Pocus, we've already said what Hocus Pocus is. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Purple Guy, you are a horrible character. It's just too bad he is... I can't say anything worse about him, because his only redeeming quality is that he is extremely easy to unlock, being that you have to beat Redeem Space with all of the cupcake upgrades. And if you know where they all are, like I do, it's a piece of cake. So that's its only redeeming quality. But other than that, no. Nightmare Fredbear. Toxic Bite 2, Freddles, and Megabyte. Extremely solid. Do I need to say more? And Nightmare. He, Toxic Bite 2, Rainy Day 2, and Megabyte. Do I need to say more? Phantom Balloon Boy. Toxic Balloon, Gloom Balloon, and Rainy Day. So he's got 2 completely unique moves, Toxic Balloon and the Gloom Balloon. But basically, all it is just Gloom Song and Toxic Bite, but dressed up some. I mean, that's not to say they're bad moves, because poison damage. What else do we have? Rainy Day. He's not the worst, I guess. He's definitely an upgrade over some characters. Like, for instance, Toy Freddy, who is absolutely the worst of the starting characters. Because let me tell you what he has. He has Mic Toss, Party Favors, and Speed Song. So basically he only has one move that can use to kill enemies. And it's one of the weakest moves in the game. And that's not even considering Party Favors. And then he has Speed Song. That's probably his best move. Speed Song. When your best move is Speed Song. You are a horrible character. It doesn't matter unless it's these 2 characters. It doesn't matter who you unlock. Get rid of Toy Freddy as soon as you can. He is a parasite. Toy Bonnie. Toy Bonnie is actually a pretty good starting character, because he has Bash Jam, Munchies, and Prize Ball. So 2 very blunt attacks. The prize ball is when the randomizer moves. Wait. Okay. Withered Chica. Bite, Cupcake, and Prize Ball 2. Uh, I mean, she's an upgrade to regular Chica, ironically enough. Because she can attack. But it's not too much better. And then last but not least, weirdly enough, it's Phantom Withered Foxy. Yes, Hook, Rainy Day, and Hot Cheese too. So he's not the worst. That was pretty anticlimactic for an ending, but here's my tier list for each of the FNAF World characters. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me how stupid, how much you want to hit me in the face, kick me in the nuts, because I, God forbid, put Withered Freddy here instead of in his own tier above the gods or something. Ciao.